That's
I
right.
watched myself. I was like, oh my goodness.
Did you? Why?
I had no, you know what? I knew you were recording, but I really had no idea. I was like, oh my goodness.
It's kind of shocking to see yourself.
It really,
isn't it?
it was a
Yeah.
shock.
Last week I had been texting a friend and I said, I have to go to my meeting. And then I got on and I realized it was live on YouTube. She's like, I'm watching you. And I'm like, oh, thanks. She's like, I'm turning it off now. It's like, okay, good. You don't live here. I don't think you care. But it was just cute that she wanted to try to watch it.
Saw our outtakes. I think it was on the Fox network somewhere, but we looked good.
Great.
Yeah, I think we're here, aren't we?
We haven't got Kathy and Gary.
I'm here. I just can't get visual.
I see you.
I see
Yeah.
you.
Okay.
Kathy, are you
Awesome.
there? Ryan?
We're missing Kathy. I have not heard anything that she would not be here.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Well, we do have a quorum, so.
Okay, let's call it to order at 6:32. Would you do the roll call, please?
Ed,
Here.
Jeanette.
He's coming back in.
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry.
Lynn,
Here.
I'm here. Angela,
Here.
Lori,
Here.
Kathy, are you here yet? The other Kathy Ryan?
No,
Was that a no?
she's
Or
not
yes?
here.
Okay. Kelsey,
Here.
Gary,
Here.
Jenna,
Here.
and Kathy O'Neill.
I'm back.
And Jeanette, yay.
I went away. I don't know what happened.
Quorum, so we will proceed. We don't think it's going to be too long a meeting tonight. We want everyone to get out there and enjoy this wonderful weather. Once again, we are meeting by Zoom in accordance with the opinion of the Missouri Attorney General's office. It's available on live Zoom, live stream. And also, is it recorded? Am I right about that, Jenna?
Recording it. Yes.
Okay.
Oh, please.
So if you wish to see it and you don't get to tonight, you're not listening to me say this anyway. So anyway, it is available. Once again, I want to start out with a quote. This is from the famous documentary filmmaker Michael Moore. You remember him, God Help Me and Fahrenheit 9/11 and others. And he said this, and Jenna, I want you to really pay attention to this one.
All right.
Michael Moore said, I really didn't realize the librarians were, such a dangerous group. They are subversive. You think they're just sitting there at the desk, all quiet and everything. They're like plotting the revolution, man. I wouldn't mess with them.
Right.
Here.
Yeah.
Salute to our librarians, those revolutionaries and everything. All right, the agenda has been circulated. Are there any changes, additions, changes to the agenda? If not, a motion to accept the agenda as submitted.
So moved.
Second.
All right, moved by Jeanette, seconded by Gary. I think I got that right.
Yep.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed, no. Thank you. We will move on to the minutes of prior meeting. We're going to approve minutes of 2 meetings, our regular September meeting on the 1st, and then the September 9th special meeting that we had. I believe everyone has received a copy of those. Let's go with the September 1st minutes first. Are there any changes, recommendations? And if not, can we have a motion to approve the September 1st meeting minutes?
So moved.
Okay, moved by Lynn, seconded by?
Second.
Oh,
Seconded by
Gary.
Gary, you got another second there. Okay, all in favor, say aye, please.
Aye.
I'm
No?
Aye.
Next is the special meeting on September 9th. Minutes. You all have seen those too. Are there any suggestions for changes or anything?
I would like to comment on a lively discussion ensued.
Oh,
Very tactful, very
Yeah.
tactful. But I don't disagree with it.
well, you have to cut down sometimes. You know.
Yes.
And we thank Cindy for doing all the cutting she has done for us over the years.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, my wrists are healing up pretty well.
I will say, I thought it was a very good discussion, and I think our discussion at both meetings on the issue reflected our concerns and our dedication to the library and the community. So I appreciated that. Is there a motion to approve the September 9th meeting minutes?
So moved.
Moved by Jeanette, seconded
Lynn. Lynn seconds.
by Lynn. All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed, no.
Mhm.
Thank you. We approve the minutes for the 2 meetings. This is now the public comments section. Again, the meeting is being recorded. It's available online. Any public questions or comments are certainly welcome at any time and may be directed most easily to Jenna at the front desk or on the phone. And we welcome those at any time. So not seeing any members of the public, we will move on to the aldermanic report.
Okay, I don't think there's
Newly
anything,
coiffed Kathy O'Neill.
nothing at the meeting really pertains to the library, except that we did authorize the property tax rates for next year. So what you submitted was authorized as you submitted. The other bit of information is not city related, but it's Zoom related. And for people who didn't know, if you are muted and you want to say just something swiftly, you know, you can press the space bar and hold it, and that unmutes you. That was a revelation to several people.
Wow.
So
I didn't know that.
it's along.
Was
That's
Was-
it.
was there any discussion of the sidewalks outside the parking lot?
None at all.
Okay.
Not a comment.
Okay.
The sidewalk was repaired. If you were not aware, the library basically had to close for, was it 4 days?
Yes,
4
4
days.
days. And then we had to limit hours to after post-construction hours because we didn't know when they were going to be, what they were going to be doing and where.
Hmm.
Yes, the following week. So, yeah, fun times.
And was this basically a contractor, am I right, Kathy, that was doing the work, not the Public Works, but then Public Works?
Right,
got
it was not done in-house. It was the contractor, the general company who had done all of the city hall renovations had subcontractors, and I'm not sure which one that was, but there was nothing at this point we could do except put it on the list of people never to work with again.
Yeah. Well, there is one section of sidewalk that is not in, and Public Works is finishing that.
Oh, okay.
Right in front of the library on the other side of the Memorial Rock.
Mhm.
That for some reason there are some big holes there, and I guess we'll see what they have planned.
Keep after them. They do have a busy schedule doing sidewalks. They're taking one ward at a time and trying to upgrade any problems in the sidewalks. But so the squeaky wheel gets the grease.
All right.
Well, I don't want to jump on your report, Jenna, but I will just say that on the brag page, we ought to put that the staff did a wonderful job during those days, down there.
Absolutely.
trying
I
to
second that motion.
Oh, thanks. Well, I feel like people did give us good feedback, and I didn't put it on here, but we actually got a card in the mail from someone too that said, you work so hard, thank you. So I was just, that's so nice when people reach out to you
Good.
with positive things.
Well, we will segue into the library director's report then.
Right. So yeah, so you've got it. I actually managed to get it out to you before the meeting, so you could read it hopefully. So I won't go over everything, but I did want to mention that under library projects, that today I got a confirmation that our Wi-Fi access point is shipping. So I told the network guy who at Clayton who does our IT stuff sometimes, he's going to be the one who installs it on the building. So I'm excited. That means you can roll up in the parking lot and use the Wi-Fi, you know, while we're not open. So right now you can do it, but only if you're like right next to the building, you know, and preferably in the back, like the closest to the point in the, I guess, in the library. But
Just a question, is that going to be 24/7 or just during library hours?
no, it'll be 24/7. So
Gary, I'll meet you in the parking lot at 3 in the morning. We'll
there you go.
see what
There
we
you
can
go.
find on.
Our internet works really well at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Is there a way to have, who's still working, who's still going to school at home, middle school and high school?
Yes.
Yes.
To somehow get the word out that if their internet goes out, they can come and sit in the parking lot? Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I I
I
thought
hate to
about
say
that, and I think that's fine, but I don't want to promote the gathering. And I know
Right.
that is the age range where, like I
Yes.
just went to the pediatrician's office yesterday, and she was talking about that's the age range that's like,
That's true. That's
you know,
true.
right now. So it's hard, you know, I would say yes, but only, you know, and just with the caveat that they social distance and wear a mask, you know.
Well,
Mhm.
and it might be you could just tell the middle school and high school that. And
Yeah.
then maybe if they know of people who struggle to have good access or something, then they could be like, just so you know, the library, you could go, you know, that way it's passed on to through the teachers and maybe not just publicly known through the
Public,
students.
yeah.
I like
And
that.
we knew somebody at the middle and high school.
Yeah.
Libby would be a good contact. Probably.
Right, yeah, I am. Let's see. Because yeah, I did reach out to Libby. We did manage to make library cards for everybody, e-resource cards for everybody in the district. So like I said, I don't know who's using them right now because they're e-resource and we don't really have the, you can't really tell what patrons are using what so much. But she's trying to, I think our systems person is trying to figure out a way we could feasibly track that. Yeah. So I don't know, but we did open it up for every resource. So it's not just Overdrive. I decided that they could use Hoopla or, you know, Canopy for the older students, you know, and the younger too, because there's content on there.
And I do know that the Mark Twain librarians, before they went back, they were showing them, this is how you get into Overdrive and putting the link on the Canvas page. And so it was out there. People were learning
Okay.
how to use it. So
Oh, good. Because I was, you know, I reached out to Libby and asked, well, what can I do to, you know, help that, you know, can I create something, you know, or do it, but she didn't get back to me on that. So Angela.
Do we have hotspots available for the kids?
We do not have hotspots. Right now, when I went to look at them again, they're sold out from the company I was going to go with, the TechSoup, because those have the contracts that are, actually I think now it's $15 a month instead of the 10 when I looked. So no, we don't.
Okay.
But I would love to get some as soon as they're available again. And I'm hoping, I do get emails periodically and they'll say like mobile hotspots available. And so what I need to do is just like set up an alert and jump on it when I get the notice. Do you know of students that are in need of them?
Yeah, mine.
Okay. Yeah.
That's a good reason.
Yeah.
Yeah, my internet is just not good. It's just
Okay.
not good. I'm gonna check with my provider.
Yeah. Oh. Well, I don't know if you want your kids to sit in the parking lot. That's fine.
But it's not quite there yet. It's not up and running yet.
Right.
Not yet.
As I say, we have like private like camp chairs and the lots. Yeah.
I think
Well,
I
if
would.
it goes far enough, they can sit in the grassy area where the house came down.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was like, I mean, I would hope it would reach that far. It
Yeah.
should.
I can see one of my daughters with her lawn chair and just chilling all day.
Mm-hmm.
Can you still
While
get
the weather
Wi-Fi,
holds.
Wi-Fi signal by the fountain? People used to sit out there and do it.
Yeah, I mean, you should be able to, but this one will be like, it will be boosted. I don't know, I don't
Okay.
feel like it would have been very reliable.
That's very nice.
Good. So, let's see. Oh yeah, the West Community is going to give us some prizes again for our winter reading club. So we just have to come up with what we're going to do. It'll be pretty low key, I imagine, after. If summer wasn't a big deal, as big as it usually is, obviously it was, yeah. But still, it won't be quite as big, I would say.
Who's your contact at West Community?
Let's see. My contact is Stephanie Tyler.
Okay. Yeah, I know she does a lot of community stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I know
Yeah.
in the chamber, I just want to thank her for that because they've been very supportive in so many ways.
Oh yeah, she's great.
Thank you.
Yes. So I think that's about it, unless anybody has any questions.
Tell me about Stacy's riding around on her bike.
Oh, that was,
Oh my gosh, she was so
Yeah.
happy. I just want to tell you that like made her year, I think. Because she was like, I'm like a pack horse librarian. I don't know if you know of those, like that did like in Kentucky in like during the 30s.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, they used to have the librarians go out on mules and stuff,
Mhm.
like to deliver materials. Like, so yeah, she was she loaded up her cart. She's got those 2 baskets, and I think she went out 2 days. One day she went on foot and then took her car, I think. And then she's like, you know what, I'm gonna bring my bike next time. I bet I can hit some spots. So that kind of made us really want to get one of those bikes that, because they
Yeah.
have bikes that have the big trailers on the back that have like I don't know, like a gas assist. Maybe they have like an electric assist. I don't know.
Right.
But I think that would be so cool. And then we could go like down to Brentwood Forest or,
Right.
like, or to like community events. So yeah, definitely really like made us excited.
That's great.
That's
But we should get some horses too, because that would be really realistic,
I know. Yeah.
We could put them over behind the firehouse.
How about goats? And then they could like do I don't know.
so did you recycle the old computers? Is that what
Not
you
yet. Not yet.
Are you giving them to someone to rehab, or are they going into the electronics recycling? this
Yeah, they're
week?
going to go electronics, I think. Because I tried to do that with Chris, that one time.
Mhm.
But at this point, I'm just like, you know what? We have so much. I just need to get rid of it.
Because it's at the it's behind Walgreens this
Says
Saturday.
Brentwood Center, a rec center.
Oh, but that's like residential. And I've got too much.
I don't know why not.
Well, we could all take one.
We could all take one.
Residential.
Let me think of that. Let me think. Let me get.
You don't have big old cathode ray tubes, whatever they're called.
I do have a
flat screen.
couple like when I replaced our self checks recently, those old monitors are huge. I don't know what their
That
deal
might
is.
cost money. That would cost money to recycle.
Yeah,
But I'd
but
be
I mean,
willing
there's a company that the IT people told me about that they'll come out and haul everything away. So I feel like that is
Okay.
I think that's where we want to go because there's a lot.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
Are you going to remove? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
go for it.
I was just going to say, are you going to remove the hard drives before you take those to the recycle?
That's a good question. I need to talk to the recycler about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Smash them somehow, do something with them, or unless you want to hide them in the jail cells down underneath the.
The thing is, a lot of them don't have stuff on them anyway because they run a program that wipes everything off.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I don't know. That's one of those things where you're like if I knew which computer was, I mean, I don't know if I know at this point, which computers were staff computers because this is going back pretty far.
Okay.
But yeah, but thank you. I will definitely ask about that.
Okay.
I did have one more thing that I forgot to put on here, and that is that in the back, next to our side door where we're doing our curbside service mostly, you know, there's that area that is going to be reconfigured a little bit, I guess, with some different landscaping, and we do need a new bike rack. So I did reach out to all the people involved in that and said that I would love to put in a bike fixing station with a bike pump too.
Mhm.
If we get a bike rack, because I've seen those at a couple places. Kirkwood just put one in actually. They hey, all right. How's it going, Jackson? Good. Sorry.
He came over to Carl's for dinner.
Oh yeah, he's smart.
He gets all of them home for some reason.
But yeah, so there's this big, like, it's a big metal bar, and it has you hook your tire on it, and then it's got tools hanging down with that are cabled on there, so you can't steal them. Oh, here's Kathy. Sorry, I just saw her. And then so the tools are there so you could fix your bike if you needed to, and then there'd be like the pump is attached to it, so you could pump up your tires. And we do have a lot of bike traffic at the library, so Kathy.
Jenna,
Sorry.
the board authorized a new committee, a sustainability committee. Some other suburbs have one and we never have. And Brandon Wegge, I think, is going to chair it.
Woo!
There will be, there'll be 5 residents and 2 aldermen. But that sounds like something the sustainability committee would
Good
like.
Good finance.
Yeah.
They have them on the new part of the trail that's down south by I have no
Lions Trail?
And I think there's one by Webster just across the bridge past Metrolink. If you go up the hill a bit, there's a little park in there with a play area. I think there's one there too.
Oh, cool. Yeah. Okay. Well, I didn't hear back from them, but I thought, you know, I feel like, don't quote me on this, but I feel like the station, it would be like about $2,000. And it didn't seem like terribly expensive, honestly. You know, I thought for something that would get a lot of use in the community. So, but yeah. So I thought maybe if they were reluctant to, we could take it as long as we said, but if we move, we'll take it with us.
Yes.
As long as we're not going to tear up anything else after we put it in. But
Yeah.
anything else, Jenna, from your report?
Oh, the other thing would be is that Kyle did tell me when this was all happening, he's the public works project manager.
Yeah.
He told me that that they were at some point going to reconfigure the parking lot itself, and that it was going to be so that they would take out that turn, like that curve by the book drop, and the book drop would move back to like by the back door. So I don't know if that's like a 10-year plan, you know, or what, but that's coming at some point, just FYI.
Okay.
Okay.
Consult with you on where they're putting the book drop so that it's convenient and not causing more of a problem.
Yeah. So you don't have to get out of your car to put the books in.
Yeah, no, it wouldn't be. It would be like, it would still be a drive situation. It just wouldn't be. It would be like in the, yeah,
You'd
it would
have
be
to
like where
change the
if you go by
direction.
the parking lot, there's a lamp post, and it'd be by the second big lamp post. That's what he was saying. So.
I tell you, there's already a convergence of several little streets, drive paths there from the post office and from Brentwood Boulevard and
Oh
from,
my gosh,
Right.
you know,
it's crazy.
so it's, yeah, maybe it'd be nice probably to know what they're going to do before it happens.
Yeah.
I don't know, Kathy, if you have that pool with Public Works again. Or
I will ask. Don't always get what you ask for, but
No kidding.
Okay, Cindy, I just want to remind you when you mentioned in the minutes that we were talking about hot spots and not hot shots.
Oh, I think I got it.
Okay. Old business. Now, we're talking about staffing, and every month or so, we extend it by a month. And I know we probably would be at this point saying, well, yeah, let's extend it to November 15th. But I'm wondering if it makes sense just to say this is a continuing resolution to continue this status until there's a change in library operations, at which time we can reevaluate it. Or if we want to, we can do it every month. I'd kind of open the floor to that discussion, that thought right now.
I like
think
the idea of a
it's reasonable to-
continuing resolution.
So do I. So do I.
Is
I
there
do too.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes, I
You
agree.
gonna say something, Lynn?
I think it's reasonable to have it as a resolution until hours change. Until there's something different at the library,
Right.
then we will continue to honor what we've been doing.
Okay. Again, I don't want to cut anybody off, so if you have any thoughts, jump in. I guess a motion to the effect that that the board agrees to continue to pay the part-time salaries during the pandemic period and until operations of the library return to normal, at which time it will be reevaluated. Does something like that sound good?
Well, we don't have to reevaluate when hours return to
No.
normal because we're paying their salary.
Yeah, we're just returning to normal.
Right.
Right.
So that's just part-time, right?
It would be all staff, yeah.
Well,
All staff.
So something about that.
Basically continuing our current policy of paying
First.
part-time salaries during the pandemic.
Okay.
Keep it short and sweet.
So you're thinking like, it's so hard to plan, isn't it? I mean,
It is.
Right.
yeah. So like how, do you want to reevaluate at a certain point or
I think we'll reevaluate it when we return to normal operations, but I don't even know if we need to then. But at that,
Right.
point, we would go back to paying what their actual hours are and everything.
Right, right.
Would it be worth just saying that we'll reevaluate when status changes? So as
Yes.
long as things stay the same, this is what we'll do. And then if anything changes, because I don't know, I think that it will be a gradual going back. I don't think that
Mhm.
it'll just be like, oh, now we're back to normal hours. So I think that it will be worth an evaluation if the status of the library changes. Does that make sense?
So we'll continue the current policy of paying part-time salaries during the pandemic, and we'll reevaluate as the status of library operations change. Is that kind of what you're thinking?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, except
Sounds
for
good.
all salaries, because some full-time aren't able to work the whole,
Ed, you keep saying part-time salary.
Yeah.
You're not paying all the staff, or I don't know why you're putting the part-time in there.
Yeah, me either.
Because we are paying the full-time.
but I think we've had it like,
we're
it's
paying
been all
full-time
staff.
anyway.
Part-time would be paid based on what their hours were, but then we decided we'll pay them based on what their predicted or normal hours would be.
Right,
But we have agreed that we're paying staff full-time staff, we're paying in full regardless of how much time they are able to work.
Yes.
So
So can we just say, continue the current staffing guidelines and reevaluate as considered safe by county guidelines?
Continue the current salary.
Hours and salary.
Well,
Because not everybody's on an hourly wage.
Mhm. And now I'm thinking we should look at the wording and just continue that, like maybe what we did last time, just make it the same, but say
Yes,
until operations of the library. Should we just do that?
yes.
Let me see, what do we do?
What do we have as a
Okay, I'm looking.
Mindy, from all this?
Board discuss continuing to pay staff through October 15th and then reevaluate the situation. The board voted to continue paying salaries to the current staff.
Yeah.
I-
Well,
oh.
here's the thing. Jenna, we are paying some part-time people more than they're actually working. Am I right?
A few. And also with the full-time, because, you know, I've got people,
We are paying salaries to full-time and part-time based on what would be their normal hours, predicted hours. And that's what we want to continue to do.
correct.
Right,
Right.
right. So whatever the wording on that should be, Jenna,
So
continue paying salaries as
the board,
they are until it is safe to resume normal hours?
until operations return to the
Yeah.
normal status. I think that's what.
Or a change in operations is warranted?
Oh, yeah.
So
Cindy, are you
continue to pay staff salaries until operations of the library return to normal status or
Warrant a change?
Yeah, okay.
warrant a change.
Because like Lori said, it's probably not going to be a all at once thing.
Yeah. Can we put the word current in front of staff salaries?
Current staff salaries. Okay.
Until operations,
Of the library.
Well, a change in operations is warranted.
So operations of the library return to normal status.
I wouldn't use
Or-
the word normal.
There's no normal.
Return
I would
to
not use the word normal.
pre-pandemic.
Change until it changes. I'd say warranted, but a change is expected or needed or whatever. Word's going to work there.
oh,
Forthcoming.
need to pay current staff salaries until change in library operations
Change.
occurs.
What do you have, Cindy? You have-
Of my 14th draft, that we will continue, the board votes to continue to pay current staff salaries until change in library operations occurs.
That's good.
Okay,
Okay.
okay.
We can always do a new resolution, so it doesn't matter.
Sure, why not?
There's a motion by Gary. Who seconded that?
I will,
Okay.
since I wrote it.
Is there any more discussion on it? All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed,
Aye.
no? Okay. Great.
Thank you.
Well, that's over.
Committee, what do we got?
Okay. Financial committee. Let's see, where are we? We are in the process of opening up that bank account. I gotta tell you, I talked to the our accountant today, and she told me which of the accounts we should open, or she gave me some guidance for picking one. So
Is that the now account?
yeah, the now pretty much.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I think
Okay.
so. I mean, it depends on how many checks we're gonna end up writing a month, so, and we don't know, so I feel like now, the now one would be good. So we have that and some credit card options, but it looks like we'll be able to open that account very soon. Just have to fill out some more paperwork, and I'm gonna need her help with that because it's not like a normal bank account. I'm like, so I'm gonna have her walk me through that. And so that's where we should be with that. Ed and Jeanette and I are meeting with BOLA on the 20th. The 20th, I think. Yeah, and also meeting with the lawyers, so our lawyer and the city's lawyer, to hopefully come to a new agreement. That's what we're hoping, to at least, I don't know, come to a lease agreement and operations agreement.
We are moving along.
What's that?
We are moving along on that.
Yeah.
Okay, the meeting on the 20th is for everybody. Did we get a meeting with the lawyer yet?
I think we decided, didn't we decide we were going to do email for that?
Okay, all right, that's fine. I just didn't have it on my phone.
So for everybody, you're talking about your committee, not every one of
Yes.
us. Okay.
Yes. Yeah, sorry.
I show up if I'm supposed to, so.
Yeah.
Okay, one further note on financial committee, you all received a copy of the much pondered over fiscal policy, which we hashed out at the last meeting. And I think the wording that was sent out by Cindy this week is basically what we agreed to finally after we figured out what everyone was saying. So at this point, if there are no objections, I'm going to say it's the consensus that it was approved and made part of our policy procedural handbook. Are there any objections to that final copy that was received?
No.
No.
Okay. All right,
No.
we will take that as the final copy and it goes in the handbook and all that good stuff, Jenna and Lynn.
Right.
Thank you. Treasurer's report.
Okay, well, first of all, I got an update about 4 o'clock this afternoon. So if you have your spreadsheets handy of your numbers, they actually allocated us some interest.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Excuse me.
So
What?
our investment account has actually gone up, and it's now $1,405,608.23.
Wait, where are we looking here?
That's on their balance sheet.
The
It
balance.
went up by $378.50.
Is that the investments figure?
Yes.
Can you give it one more time?
1,405,608.23.
Wonderful.
Okay.
And on our income statement side, I don't understand. The year-to-date total is different, and they didn't put any interest earned in the month of September. So I went with it. So our new interest income for the year-to-date as of September is $1,977.60.
That's
Okay.
much better than we used to get, which was
Oh
nothing.
my gosh.
Absolutely.
17
Yes.
cents, yeah.
Yes. So, and they changed, the other thing that changed is postage went up a little bit too. So that new year-to-date total on postage, which is on the second page, is $941.96. So that's supposedly 100% accurate year-to-date as of right now.
Good job.
So that's good. We know we have everything. And if you're looking at percentages, if you want to look at the columns of percentage spent compared to the budget year to date, the big one, we're over by 150%, is the miscellaneous expense, and that's because of the security equipment that we purchased. And I don't recall, I feel like we talked about making an equipment category, but we haven't done that as yet. And I don't know if that's something we want to discuss. I feel like the security equipment is probably going to be a one-time thing until maybe 5 years down the road. So I don't see it as a big recurring event to have to add a category.
Yeah,
I
that,
think,
that may be one where we want to make a note on the end of the year to say this is what that was for, and that's why it's so much over budget. Do you
Yes,
see?
and
Well, I thought we put that in computers. I'd have to go and look at the ledger report now because I don't have it in front of me.
there was some activity in September in the ledger for the security equipment. So,
so we have to redo this at the end of the year anyway to balance it, right?
yes, we're gonna have to make a motion to
Reallocate.
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 Yes, exactly, Gary. Reallocate some of the money into the different accounts.
Okay. I would just say do it then.
Okay.
I mean,
End of the year.
I agree.
at the end of the year.
And we talked last month, and I'll just reiterate, the computer expense looks high because we have received grant money, and the way the money gets reported, the grant money has to be reported as revenue rather than a direct offset of our expenses. So all of our expenses go in that category, even though that's not really that's not our net, and our budget is based on net. And then the only other thing that really looked out of whack was the children's books. But again, it's out of whack on an even purchase over the course of the year. It's a little bit high, but it's still within budget for the year. So as long as the librarian doesn't go hog wild in the next couple months with, spending, then it should be fine. And even if she does go over a little bit, we have the resources. I mean, we're still looking at our year to date right now is $464,000, and we budgeted $738,000. So we are well below budget. We can handle it. So yeah, so that's pretty, well, as you saw, we did get the money moved from the cash account into the investment account, so that's why we're at 1.4 million in investments. Cash in bank is only 68,000 right now, and I'm expecting that we might need to pull some of our investment money out to handle cash flow for October. We might not. If we get enough payments in early in November, we might actually be able to carry through, and because we'll start getting income about mid-November, a significant amount that should be able to, by December, we'll be able to cover our monthly expenditures. So it's just that October-November window that we have to be a little bit concerned with.
Okay.
Do we need to give Karen specific permission to go ahead and move money back from the investment account as they need it?
Yes.
Okay.
And when needed.
And how does everybody feel? Do we want to allow them to just pull what they feel they need, or do we want to just say, let's move
I think you
100,000
need to specify.
I did too.
Well, we have to have money in there, in the cash or whatever it's called, so we can move it out and to make a new account. Because we have to have some money to start the new account, right?
I'm
Figured
not
we'd take
sure
that
how
from
it's set up. There may not be we may be able to just pull it from the investment account.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know how they have it set up.
Lynn, can I ask you on the balance sheet? It has cash in bank library, 67,976. And then cash on hand, 1,268. Is the cash in bank library, is that available to us, accessible?
Yes, that should be our checking account balance. That should be our checking account balance. And then the cash on hand, I assume, is physically at the library.
Wait, what?
The cash on hand,
No,
then what's the cash on hand?
I don't know. Like,
Maybe it's what the city has to pay our bills out of? Do they
That
have
should be in
that?
the checking account.
Ah,
That should be the 67,000.
Okay. Really good question.
No, we have like $50 in the library, you know.
When we're doing it ourselves.
Yes.
So right now we're looking at 67,000 and we spend about 50,000 a month. So we'll get through October and it's a matter of how much income are we receiving after that. Do we
Okay.
want to move 50,000 at the end of October so that they have it for November and then see where we are at the end of November?
Is that what you said? Normal for a month's expenses is 50,000?
Yes.
Okay,
Actually,
that
last
would
month
be
was
a,
a little
that
bit
would
less,
be,
42.
What do you
that would
think
be a
we have
good number.
in November? Do we have anything coming in November and December?
We should definitely have money coming in November and December because the bills will go out in October. I just don't know how soon in November and how much that initial batch will be. But by December, we should be getting a couple $100,000.
So your recommendation is that we transfer 60,000 out of investments into the cash in the
50.
bank library
50.
to cover
To
operating,
cover November,
pardon me?
to cover November operations.
Okay,
And then I think by December, we'll have brought in enough to cover December's.
we'll have tax
Operation.
revenue by then, right?
Okay, but I would move it not on October 31st, but November 1st, so we get the interest.
Okay,
Good point.
so, okay,
Can I ask a question?
Mhm.
certainly,
Could I ask a question?
yes.
Lynn, is the income from month to month, is it consistent?
No. Our month-to-month income, I can't hear you. Kathy, are you there?
Yes. What I was wondering about was the monthly income for the library. Is it consistent every month or does it come in inconsistently, different amounts every month?
It's a different amount every month, and the majority of it, because it's from the taxes, is going to be collected between November and March.
Okay.
So November and December, I'm pretty sure we collect at least half by the end of December. And then
Okay.
the bulk of the rest of it in January, February, March.
Okay. Thank you.
And then
Lynn,
theoretically,
make a
we
motion?
should be seeing interest every month, but we don't.
Right
Lynn?
now, we don't. We will see interest every
We
month.
will.
Lynn, do you want to make a motion?
So I make a motion to have Karen move $50,000 from our checking, from our investment account to checking on November 1st to cover any deficit we might have.
Is there a second?
Second, Jeanette says.
Second by Jeanette. Any other discussion on the motion?
Should we make that a caveat that if needed, I mean, if we go through October and there's plenty of money there, do we still want to transfer that money?
Yeah, I would say yes.
I would think so, simply because we just don't know for sure.
Okay,
We may not know for sure because,
I agree. It's better to be
we
safe
had an
than
extra
sorry. I
couple of
just,
days. They literally just finished the books today. So if we're meeting earlier, I'm trying to see next month's calendar.
Decide
Yeah,
that.
we'll be meeting on the 3rd. They probably won't even have it all finished by then.
I don't think we're going to meet on the 3rd, though.
Yeah, no.
So,
Okay, there's a motion on the floor. Any other discussion?
Oh, I did want to just say that also, I mean, it would be handy to have that money to put into our new account. I mean, because right now
Okay.
the investment account is not at the same bank, so I don't know how.
Oh, that's important.
It's at Enterprise, and
they don't tell me anything.
yeah, so
Okay.
okay, I think we're good.
then maybe we need to move a separate amount of money to specifically open the new checking account.
I would think so. I mean, personally. So
I'm
you
gonna
know
change
that
it to
you're-
100,000 because
Okay,
they
how
just moved the 500.
Well, why don't we take care of this, covering the expenses first with that motion, and then we can deal with the opening up the new account.
Okay, so we're
All-
staying with the motion of moving $50,000 on November 1st for operating expenses.
It's been moved and seconded. Is all in favor, signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed, no. Okay. Now the next question is, do you want to, in order to open up our new account at CIBC, want to transfer some, what do you think would be a good amount on that?
I would think if we wanted, I would think $50,000 for that would be fine.
50?
When do we, it would be nice, are we gonna be able to start January 1 under our new system?
I'm
Well-
hoping so. I think so.
All right. One of the things I'd like to do is I'd like to have a meeting of the financial committee, I guess, again, along with PERC to figure out some of our specific. We did a financial policy. Now we might need more specific procedures and make sure our internal control and all of that is suitable. It's hard to have perfect internal controls with as small a group as we have, but that's why I'd like to get their input on some of that, and maybe we can work on that, see where we are with getting the QuickBooks set up and all that sort of thing.
Do we need to vote this motion before the next meeting, are you thinking? For the cash to open the new account, or?
Yes, I think if we move 50,000 now so that it's available when the new account is there to transfer that 50,000, then if we are not going to use it until January in terms of writing our checks, because the city's still writing them, then when we get to the end of December and we're closing our account, we can move it over at that time and have everything that's been collected so far this year put in the checking account.
Okay, and so they can't move the 50,000 until we open the account.
They can move it from our investment account to our checking account. So that when
December
we
1st.
open, because it's apparently two different banks. So it's got to go from the investment account to the checking account. And then when and then a check for $50,000 would then be available to give to the bank for our new account.
Okay. So,
I mean, if you want to keep that 50,000 in to, to draw more money and interest, then we could do that December 1st. And we could just say, Karen, could you do 50 on November 1st and 50 on December 1st?
Sure, we could do that too.
yeah, that sounds good.
So what you're saying is that the one motion we just approved is the 50,000 from investment to our checking on November 1st to cover expenses. And the second one is to take another 50K out of the investment to put into our checking to hold until January 1st. Is that what you're saying?
To
To
start
hold
with-
until the new bank account is open.
Right, the CIBC.
Yes.
Right.
So we could open it in December. We just may not, we won't be theoretically using it until January.
Right, okay,
It's two different purposes that we're allocating the two $50,000 amounts.
right.
And I think it's fine. So that's been moved by Lynn, seconded by
I'll second it.
There's somebody, Gary and I are competing.
Is there any other discussion on the second motion to transfer 50,000 from investment to the cash in bank, cash on hand, whatever you call it, in order to be ready to open our new account? Any other discussion? If not, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay.
All opposed, no. Thank you.
Okay.
Anything else?
I have an amendment, a motion that Lynn is going to change her name so she
Yeah.
can continue on as treasurer. We're just going to give her a new persona and then have her reelected to the board, and then she can continue to do the treasurer's report. That's my motion. I don't know if we can really do anything about that, but
We may change your name or something.
change the name. Yeah, that's it. That's all we do. Okay, I'm sorry. Frivolous.
Second.
Lynn, anything else from you?
No, I think we're looking pretty darn good.
Very good, very good.
Exciting.
Moving on to new business. We don't have any that I know of. Is there any new business from anybody?
I did have a thought. Do
Yeah.
we feel that we're close enough to looking at space that we want to talk to a commercial realtor and have somebody keeping an ear out to what's happening in Brentwood?
Funny you should mention that because I've been doing some digging and have a contact that I'm making tomorrow with somebody about a space. And then I thought, few of us should just go look at it and get started. And then, well, obviously we want to get a realtor and lawyer involved, but I think we're very much in the preliminary stages. So,
Well, sometimes I was just thinking from the standpoint of realtors hear about things before it goes public, and just knowing that somebody is out there with an ear to, hey, this space might be coming available. I should let the library know to see if they're interested.
Yeah, and to that point, I think that's great, but I also think like to get to that point, we also need, if we want to like think about a committee, and I don't know, we don't have to do that tonight, I'm sure, but we would probably need a committee to for that purpose, because I think we're going to need, before we even look at places, we're going to need to have a plan of what we actually need. So I've been reading. I've got a big tome. It's about 1,000. It's like, yeah, it's about building a library. So yeah, so they have like a nice step-by-step what you should do. So I'm kind of looking at that. And a building program, it would be involving hiring a consultant to say, this is what the library needs to run. And it wouldn't have anything to do with architecture, or, it would just be what the library needs. And so that way we could have that.
I realize it has
to
to
the
be probably has to
space.
be updated, but we did have all of that done before Vicki left.
Yeah.
So
Did you had a building program?
we had consultants in talking about what the library would need. We had panels with the general.
Well, yeah,
public.
but that was separate from the building program, to say this is like, you need like 2,000 square feet for children's books. I mean, this is like very specific, like, I think that was more general.
Okay.
I mentioned to Gina that I wish we could do this at Amis in the back room.
Yeah.
Basically have a meeting and sit down and talk about long-range goals, long-range planning. What I'd like is for our next meeting, and I will send out an email to this effect, I want to solicit some of you who are interested in serving on a long-range planning meeting or committee to whether it's building, whether it's renovating, whether it's moving, or whatever it is that we're going to be doing. And Jenna already has started looking at some things, and we had architects in before, but I think it's going to be a 2 to 5 year commitment. So think about that. I think I will send something out before the next meeting.
Okay, and the other thing, new business, old business, we need to go back and look at our year goals.
Oh, I remember those.
I think we've done most of them, but we need to revisit them, because you can't set
Yeah,
goals and not go back and look
That's
at
for
them.
next time. That's
Yes, for next time.
Right.
The board goals or the library goals, or both?
Both.
We need to review
Both.
those.
Okay.
And of course, with COVID, some of it might be totally irrelevant.
Oh. Goals have changed.
That's right.
Those are-
The world has changed.
Yeah.
I think our goals took a left turn around March.
Mm.
All right,
My turn.
any other new business? If not, any public comments? I don't hear anybody. Now, we are not having executive session tonight. We will approve the minutes from last month's executive session at our next executive session. We'll probably need one in November. As Jenna said, we were scheduled to have a meeting with Bola and lawyers and everything, and then Bola's father passed on in Nigeria, and she had to travel and help make arrangements, and I know she's still working on some of that, and so we canceled that meeting, but we are back in a meeting mode on the 20th. So we will probably want to discuss legal matters at that time. Now, our next meeting would normally be election night, and some people might be busy. The alternative dates are the night before, and some people might be busy. And the other alternative is the 9th, Monday the 9th. Tuesday the 10th is book club that many of us are in. But Monday the 9th at 6:30, which is probably 2 months before we'll really know who's the next president. But anyway, we'll be hopefully at least over the for a little bit. Is Monday, November 9th at 6:30? Is that a possibility?
Is that a board, Kathy, is that a board?
Do you have a board meeting that night?
Is she there?
That's
Yeah, she's looking.
second Monday in November.
It happens to be a long weekend for the school district, a half day Friday, and they're off school that Monday.
Oh,
I may or may not be going out of town that weekend.
Oh,
Um,
how about the 11th?
11.
the 11th would be totally fine with me.
that's the
11th is
Wednesday.
Wednesday.
The 11th is Veterans Day, if that makes a difference. to
It is.
anybody.
It is.
Oh,
There's usually a ceremony, but I don't know if City Hall will be having anything that night or not.
They usually have something about noon outside, so
Yeah.
not at night.
okay.
I have a conflict for the 11th, but that's fine. It's just me.
And it's just me on Monday, so
But you do the numbers. No offense, Kathy.
Somebody could be here on Monday.
None taken.
Monday the 9th, raise your hand if you could be here on Monday the 9th. Okay. And how about Wednesday the 11th? Yeah, okay.
I could be there then.
Just making sure. You're going to be out of town on the Monday the 9th, is that right?
we're
Lynn?
looking at going to either Nashville or Memphis for the weekend.
I don't hear you.
I don't know what time we get home, and we might not go at all.
Hold on. Hold on.
It's having technical difficulties.
He has to turn on Lynn.
He just vanished, so hopefully he'll come back.
Ew, Friday the 13th. Yeah,
Friday the 13th,
yeah,
we'll meet then.
yeah.
Or the 4th.
I don't think we want to.
I lost
Wednesday the 4th.
I lost everybody. How
You're
about
back?
you?
We're losing you, Ed.
Sorry, Lynn, but I just hate to cut into a Veterans Day ceremony, especially if there's one at City Hall. So can we shoot for Monday the 9th at 6:30 and then keep us informed on your plans if that's okay.
Absolutely.
Thank you. All right, Monday the 9th at 6:30. We'll probably be Zooming again. Anything else for the cause? Now the motion to adjourn is in order.
So moved.
So moved by 14 people and
Mhm.
favors say aye.
Bye.
Okay.
Lori, it's interesting, as the meeting goes on, it gets darker.
I know. I was turning my lights on and I was like, well, I guess it's time for bed.
Sorry that it went longer than we thought, but please, everybody, stay well, stay healthy, and embrace joy.
Sorry for being late.
No,
That's
all
right.
right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Bye.
Gary voted today.
Awesome.
Vote early and vote often.
That's right.
Oh, boy.
Bye.
Good night. Good night.